Who's starting in place of Jordan and Andrew?
Damian Lee and Jonathan Kuminga will start.
Steve, you're playing an opponent that has 6 players in the health and safety protocols. You can also include Alvin Gentry in that as well. Just what's with more positives coming up in the league? What's the apprehension level right now for?
Yeah, it's nerve-wracking for everybody. Rick Celebrini just addressed the guys in our walkthrough about the importance of just being as smart as possible, wearing masks as often as you can, and doing all the things that are recommended. So it's tough to be back in this state, but tough for everybody all over the world.
What's this stretch of importance for Kuminga? I mean, you're starting him at the 3. He's been good recently in spurts, obviously, in the spot starts down there. What do you want to see from him, and how important is this stretch for him?
We just want to see continued growth. We know that his development is a long-term process. It's not, this is not, wow, he had 26 points in Toronto and that's what we're going to see every night. I mean, it's going to be up and down, and he's got so much to learn. And I'm really pleased with the way he has progressed, and with the process itself too. I think it's been very healthy for him to earn minutes, occasionally play big minutes in Santa Cruz, occasionally sit and watch. I think it's all been a very organic process, and he's handling it beautifully. He's really a good young man, and just quiet, but thoughtful, and truly wants to get better, and he's putting the work in.
The other night he was, it was kind of roll the ball out there, do what you want a little bit. Tonight he's in a lineup with Steph, with Draymond. How different do you need him to play in this lineup?
It's not so much that he has to play differently. It's that he just has to focus on the most important aspects of the game that are going to help us win. And tonight with Steph and Draymond out there, and Looney, he's got to be great defensively. He'll guard Harrison Barnes at times. He'll guard Metu, who's been playing well. So we need him to lock in defensively and defend without fouling, get out and run and transition, and just execute offensively and do the things that we're teaching him. And he's so dynamic as an athlete. If he just stays patient and picks his spots wisely, he's gonna produce.
Steve, the other night, Jonathan talked about how he used the phrase, I'm being a sponge, like 3 or 4 different times. What's your take on just how much he's listening to and how much he's been able to sort of be cultivated along in this process?
He's been really good. We have a lot of coaches on our staff who are really, dedicated to helping all our young guys. He's done a good job of absorbing it, of not losing faith when he doesn't play. I think I've said this to you guys, but it's got to be tough, when you're the 7th pick and pretty much every other pick in the top 10 is playing a ton. And I told him after the game the other night, if we were a lousy team, you'd be doing this every night. You'd be on the all-rookie team and you'd score a bunch of points and everybody would say how great Kuminga is, but you wouldn't be learning how to win. And we're trying to keep that in perspective for him, that the value of learning from Draymond and Steph and Clay and Andre is actually worth a lot more than rolling the ball out and playing on a bad team. And so even though it's undoubtedly frustrating for him at times, he's got a good perspective, and we try to remind him of that fact that he's learning from winners, and that matters.
Kevon is one of maybe, I think, 2 guys who have played in every single season this year. How important is that for you guys, especially considering that historically, he's been a guy who has had to miss a good amount of time?
Yeah, he's been a rock for us this year, and couldn't be happier for him, especially the way the last couple of years went for him physically. he's put in the time and the effort, and he's earned this, and he's been one of our most consistent performers, and one of the reasons our defense is ranked number one in the league. And Loon has really had a great season.
What was your reaction yesterday upon hearing that Andrew was in the protocols, and any indication? I guess there's a couple different ways he and Jordan could get out. Is there any way of knowing how long it might take?
No, this is all up to the league and their protocols. And since I'm no expert, I'm not going to go into detail on that. I just basically listen to the training staff, and whatever they say, I'll follow up with. So we're obviously hoping to get both of them back as quickly as possible. I feel bad for them. I feel bad for everybody around the league who has been sidelined. And obviously the main thing is health, and both guys are doing fine. And so hopefully that continues and we get them back pretty soon.
Steve, Moody got to start a couple games ago. Looked like he might have been a little tentative. He was kind of going in and out.
Who's this?
Moses Moody.
Oh, Moody.
And then obviously the last game, I think 7 or 8 rebounds. I don't know. What have you seen from him as he's getting some increased minutes, and what do you want to see more from him?
I see a guy who has good feel for the game, good natural instincts, and just needs reps. One of the things as a rookie is it just takes time to gain confidence. You need reps. You need to feel the game over and over again. And as you do that, the shots tend to start going in, and the game slows down. And so he's doing everything he needs to do. He's in the same position as JK is in terms of playing on a team that has a lot of depth and a lot of guys who are ahead of him on the depth chart. But he's working and he's improving and he's doing a good job.
Is he kind of in the guard rotation, or does it matter to you? Or what in your mind when you're slotting him in, where does he go?
He 2 or 3. He's a wing basically. But we really like him for his shooting range and his instincts. Good passer, good defensively, just really solid all the way around. So I think Moses is a guy who is going to be a really good player in the league, but he needs the reps, he needs the experience, and that's why we will continue to occasionally send him to Santa Cruz, where he's done really well. And you never know, as we're finding out right now with, without Wiggs and JP, Moses will play tonight. So, he'll get his opportunity for sure.
A lot of this year in the roster construction was about spacing. You're obviously the 2 guys in health and safety are 2 of your best 3-point shooters in that starting lineup. How do you, with a lineup that's going to have Jonathan, Draymond, and Kevon, kind of combat what could be some spacing issues?
That's something we talked about upstairs, and we'll see. That's all part of the game, part of figuring out, can we play this combination together? It's not a combination that we've really tried much, but it feels like the right time to give it a shot. And we still need spacing, even when we have lineups that maybe aren't heavy on shooting. We still need the spacing that creates driving lanes and angles. And we have a style that we play, and as our young guys get more and more comfortable with our style, they'll recognize that there's ways to combat teams that pack the paint, and we've had to learn that over the years. You've seen some of the ways that we've done it. You've written about some of those ways. So that's why it's great for JK to get these reps and start to feel some of that stuff.